social media, and welcome to another episode of Chaturday Live. Oh, well, for those that are watching, I believe we've got people over the pond and around the world now tuning in. So good evening, UK. Good morning everywhere else. And very good late night for other people. My name is Jason Robinson, or Jay Robinson, as you can see at the screen there. I'm the host of Chaturday Live, the chat show on social media in support of mental health awareness, offering entertainment for those that are stuck in lockdown or suffering and just want something a bit different from the norm. The idea of the show is that we connect people from all around the world, or around the country, and share ideas, hobbies, interests, and small businesses. And if you've seen the show before, a few celebrities along the way as well. Tonight's show, we're going to be talking to the one and only Mr. BIGSHAWNBEZ. He's been a big fan of the show now and followed us and supported us in many ways, liked and shared our posts. And I've tried making sure that I've got the right show lined up for him, and we've been over it, and we've got everything that we want to talk about, and it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. He's a fantastic down-to-earth guy as well. We're going to be talking about a few things such as wrestling, American football, uni life, YouTube, social media, all the stuff that you guys are probably very familiar with. We're going to go over it. The comments section is wide open. We can see your comments, so do feel free anytime during the show to stick something in the comment section and say hello. We will put it up on the screen if you're saying hello, or if you've got a message. If you do have anything that you'd like to add to the show, please put the letter Q, capital, such as, I'll put it like this. If you've got anything like capital Q before your comment, so I know that you're asking a question, and then either myself or my guest tonight can make sure that we answer that and see that live on the screen, so that'd be much appreciated. So feel free, if you're not from the UK and you're seeing anywhere else, please do drop a comment in as well. I'd like to see how many people are tuning in and where you're from. That'd be nice, just to see what's going down. We are live across 3 separate channels. We do want to say a big shout out again to Care and Real Love in the community that kindly let us hijack their Facebook page to try and spread awareness of mental health as well from our side of the pond. So if you're watching from there, thank you very much. If you're watching from YouTube, hello, YouTube. If you're watching from Facebook, hello, Facebook. Again, comments will only show up if you're commenting on the Chaturday Live Facebook page or the YouTube page. If you're watching from the Care and Real Love in the community, it may not come up, so please do come across to our page and we will appreciate it. Right, that's enough waffling before the show. We're going to get in with seeing our guest. So please give a lovely, warm Chaturday welcome to the one and only Mr. BIGSHAWNBEZ. Hello, buddy.
Hello, how's it going?
Yeah, it's like I've just caught you doing something suspicious there. You're right.
Yeah, just coming in the chat, just saying hello to some people, that was all.
If you've got other things to do, mate, that's fine. I'll sit here. I'll drink my cup of tea.
No, go on.
You can host the show tonight, Shawn. That's all right. I'll sit here with me, mate. All right.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thanks to Jay for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Don't say thank you to me, mate. I've got nothing better to do. No, I'm only Mason. It's nice to have somebody on that's as down to earth as I am, pretty much as genuine as you see on the old screen. So let's get to know a bit about BIGSHAWNBEZ, aka Shawn. We'll call you Shawn for a while as well. Yeah. We've got BIGSHAWNBEZ. Who is Shawn? Where are you from? As they say in the old school, ASL, I think it is.
Yeah, well, oh, that's very old, yeah. My name's Shawn, or BIGSHAWNBEZ online. I'm originally from Bolton, but live in Carlisle, and I'm 28 years old. So
that was very blunt. Yeah. There was no soft.
Yeah, sorry. That's me. That's
originally from Carlisle. The reason why you're on the show there is because you're not one man of one interest. You have multiple interests that I find interesting myself, and I'd like to share with others. That you branch into different genres of sport, social media, lifestyle, as well as film and photography. You've got the education side of things that we're going to touch on as well. So we'll start off nice and lightly. So BIGSHAWNBEZ, where does the name BIGSHAWNBEZ come from, and what's it all about?
Well, like, my second name's Berry, so you kind of short that down to Bez. That gets that. And, when I started sort of wrestling, we'll touch on that, but I was like, I need a name. What do I do? And then everyone was like, oh, you should just be Big Shawn because you're a big lad. And, you sort of kind of just stuck a little bit. I mean, there was a lot of other names that circulated around that weren't so savoury. But, I was like, right, I need a bit of a presence online. I need to kind of do something. I don't want to just be Shawn Berry, the generic guy. So I thought, I'll give myself a bit of a nickname and just be BIGSHAWNBEZ, and it just stuck with us. It was kind of the first thing I thought of, really. I thought, well, you go with your gut, don't you? So,
well, so we'll actually touch on that because that makes sense, because that's a good way to start the story back in 2015. Let's go back there. So BIGSHAWNBEZ starts because obviously you're a fan of wrestling. Massive fan of wrestling. If you've watched the show or been in contact with the show, then you know that we would have had Target Wrestling on a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about obviously yourself and obviously wrestling in general in the Carlisle and the UK area. So that's where your connection is physically with your namesake. So let's start from Baby Shawn. How did you get into wrestling then? And let's work up to the name.
Sort of my first kind of seeing wrestling, it was my dad was watching it and my sister used to watch it. They were big fans of The Rock and Stone Cold, sort of that sort of era. You're talking mid-90s. I must have been about 7 or 8, watching a bit of wrestling on telly. And it just kind of, it's one of those things with wrestling. You either love it or you hate it. And you either get into it straight away and you're hooked, or you're like, oh no, it's not for me, sort of thing. And immediately I was straight into it. It was fascinating. It was, it was so over the top and just theatrical. It was brilliant. And as soon as I started watching it, and then you fall in love with the characters, and I was hooked. And I haven't stopped watching it since, really. I mean, and kind of as the years went by, I started watching it with my stepdad, and then obviously going to shows. And I think the first show I went to was 2006 or 7, and it was a show, and The Undertaker was on it. It's like, and just seeing him live was like the most amazing thing ever. And it's one of those things where you're never going to feel that experience of that first ever show more than once. And it just has stuck with me since. And then obviously when Target Wrestling kind of came around and I found out there was a promotion in Carlisle, I was like, why did I not know about this before? And it sort of took me by surprise. It was there and it was fantastic. And then I went to that first show. I think Paul London, who used to be in WWE, who funny enough I'd seen on that first show in Manchester, was on the show in Carlisle, and it was so surreal. It was like just living my childhood all over again. It just gives you that nice feeling, just going to a show, seeing these guys and knowing the hard work they put in. And then you kind of realize there's potential that I could do this myself. And as the years kind of went on, I thought, okay, let's give this a go. And then that's where we started to sort of train and think of names and then go from there.
All right, brilliant. So you've obviously refereed wrestling matches. How was that experience?
There's a funny story with this, really, and if a few people know this story, a few people don't. That first show that I refereed on, it was in Annan at the community centre. So it was a very small show. There's been about 50 or 60 people there. It wasn't big. And I bought a shirt and trousers because I had to look smart. And during the match, obviously the referee goes to the ground. He starts counting the pins, sort of 1, 2, 3. As I go to the ground, me being a kind of clumsy, heavy-set lad, makes the mistake of his life, slips a little bit, and rips my trousers in that first match. It was a disaster. I go backstage after the match and realise there's a great gaping hole on the inside leg of my trousers, and I'm just like, for God's sake, I've let everyone down and made an absolute mess. And honestly, I'll not forget it because it was a disaster, but at least the second time I did it, it was a lot better. No rips, no nothing. It was the one thing I was most conscious of. It was like, right, at the end of this match, as long as my trousers are in one piece, I'm okay. Because there was 200 people at that show, and it was unbelievable. And to get to referee here at Carlisle in the venue was just phenomenal.
All right. Well, like you say, that's a story, though. You will always remember your first time refereeing a wrestling match, because it could have just been like, yeah, I just pinned the guy. That was it. 3 minutes of fun. I walked off and I was the referee. At least you can turn around and go, that night is the night that trousers split. I won't forget it. Yada, yada, yada. So that's good. Maybe. So then you've refereed it, and then obviously you've gone, right, I reckon I want to get in here and cause some serious pain, to other wrestlers, as they say, and whatnot. So how does your first wrestling debut go then?
My first match, it is on YouTube on Facebook somewhere, so I will find it and send it to you at some point.
Yeah, please do.
But my first match, I was against one of Target's most known people, Medallion, and Ivy missed. It was a tag team match. So my debut, the match wasn't actually announced. So there was only like, it was in Workington. There was about maybe 70 or 80 people there. It was a small venue, and the match wasn't announced. So I've kind of come out from the curtain while Medallion and Ivy Mist are beating up this very small guy. He was under 5 foot, really skinny lad, like luchador type, so he wore a mask, everything else. So they're beating him up. I come round the back of the ring, slide in as they've got their backs turned, and just wipe them out. And then all I got was this huge cheer of everybody, and it was just like, wow, they're cheering for me. Is this happening? And then Medallion, obviously being the heel, he is the bad guy. He turns around and makes the match, obviously a match, by cutting a little promo. And the one thing I remember him saying was, because my attire at the time, it was like a lime green and black. He turns around and he goes, Mr. High Viz. He called me Mr. High Viz, and I've never laughed so hard in my life. And I'm trying to hold it together while I'm in the middle of this ring, laughing at him taking the piss out of me, and it was just so funny.
We'll have to find that somewhere. Fingers crossed we can find that somewhere, and if you can find it, then we'd love to see it.
I'll definitely have to send it over and get it put up on YouTube at some point.
So there's Big Shawn Bez, the wrestler. Obviously, that's come about. So we're going to talk about other things as well. So it's not just WWE or wrestling in general that you're a big fan of. You're a big fan of American football as well. So where did that come in then? Where did the American football side of things go into?
See, American football, I stumbled on it very accidentally. I was watching TV late one night. It was on Channel 5 back in the day. And sort of midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, there was a game on. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what the hell am I watching here? So I started watching it, and I was like, actually, this is quite entertaining. Again, it's a bit like the wrestling thing. You kind of stumble upon it and fall in love with it. And the two teams that were playing at the time were the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens playing purple, and the Pittsburgh Steelers playing like purple or white, or it's black and yellow for the Steelers. And I was much more into the black and yellow colour, as you can kind of see on there.
Yeah.
Because all my branding's black and yellow. So that tells the story in itself, that I've just been hooked on the Steelers for years and years and years. And then when I eventually got the chance to play it, that was just what I'd never thought that would happen in my life. And that changed a few things for me, certainly.
So how did you get to play? Where does that come then? So where did you play? Who for, and what age, and where?
Well, when I got to 18, I started, funny enough, this story starts with, I went out drinking to a bar in Carlisle.
Hang on, stop there. Any story that starts with, I went out drinking.
It's PG, don't worry. It's
PG. Is it PG?
Yeah.
I've got to be careful, because I don't know who could be watching. We could be monitored.
No.
I want to make sure nobody died, and there's no policing questions, no?
No, definitely not.
Okay, we're okay. Carry on the story.
I was out drinking at a bar that was showing wrestling on a Monday night, and I got to know a lad who's been friends with me since then, Jan Ballard, if you're watching, hello. And he'd got a mutual friend that had started doing American football, and he was like, oh, you're a big lad, why didn't you come and try it? And here's me thinking, haha, yeah, whatever. Decided, what have I got to lose? So I went down, and the team at the time was called the Carlisle Border Reavers. So I went down to training with him, and we kind of, we did the session stuff, and afterwards I was like, this is quite fun. I'm definitely going to come back. And I went back week after week after week, and then the season started, and, I was just hooked. And it was like, I tried literally everything there was to do. Tried playing running back, tried playing wide receiver, tried playing tight end, played defensive line, tried everything there was just to see what kind of fit. And eventually I was playing defensive line. And if you watch American football, they're the guys that are causing most of the damage, to be fair. So it is the fun position, as people like to call it. It's like you get first dibs on a quarterback or a running back, so it's quite nice. We played, and we had the first sort of season, and at the end of the season, the team folded. We all kind of looked around and went, oh, okay, this has happened. It was more of a financial thing, and people going to other teams, and we were kind of sort of dead in the water at the time. And then another team started up, which became the Carlisle Sentinels. So we moved from what was the Sheepmount to Carlisle Rugby Club on Warwick Road, and the new team sort of started up, and that's when sort of met a whole new group and new coaches, everything else. And we just played our absolute asses off and won more games than the Reavers kind of ever had, and it was phenomenal just being part of that group and that team, and just it really helped me a lot because like I've always kind of struggled with my weight and stuff like that, and it kind of made me feel a lot more included because it was like being a big guy is kind of accepted here, and it's like you need to have a bit of something about you to do this, and it was really nice for me just to be part of that group.
Oh, good. So you've got, not only are you a fan of wrestling and NFL, you've been a part of both as well. So you've experienced the lifestyle inside as well. We'll carry on talking about that in a sec. But what I'd like is, I'm going to try something different. We've got social media. People are commenting, swinging them about. If you're watching, say hello. And if you know Big Shawn Bez, Shawny Boy here, maybe you can say, I know Shawn from, and we'll see where people are from, and we're going to try and catch you out and see if people can come up with some nice stories as well. So if you know Shawn, go, I know Shawn from, and then just stick either school, wrestling, NFL, holidays, abroad, bus stop, wherever, just say you know him from. And we're just going to read some of those out as well. Just keep it, we're going to stay a community. That's the whole point tonight. Want to stay connected. Everybody's there. So hello, everybody that's there. We can see all your names. I can see everything coming through. If you do have a question, as I said, stick the capital Q, and then, like you say, we'll put that up on there as well. So some of them are coming in. So we're going to make you feel a part of it as well. So we've got Taylor.
Big Taylor.
I know our Shawn from uni. Met him in September. Sorry, Taylor, you're stuck with him now.
He certainly is. Taylor's a great guy. Like, I appreciate it.
Bradley, I know Shawn from Twitch. Oh, so you're getting about, aren't you?
Yeah, Mr. Bradley Pierce. What a legend he is.
From school and playing football as a youngster, we were little Taylor. I could only imagine. I could only imagine you not being exactly what they would say the golden child in school either, especially definitely with your passion for wrestling and whatnot.
Yeah,
so we'll go into it.
Homework in school, definitely not.
Yeah. So that leads us on to the next bit. Keep the comments coming and we'll keep flicking them up, so we do appreciate it. So that leads on to the next thing. So you've done, obviously, the wrestling side of things. You've done the NFL side of things. You've done other sports as well that people have mentioned, football and whatnot. Goalkeeper, I believe, at some point.
Yeah, played goalkeeper most of my life, you know. Again, being the bigger kid, you're always the one that goes in goal, but I had a natural talent for it. My dad was quite a decent goalkeeper and trained me a little bit back in the day, and just kind of followed that on, really, and I enjoyed it. And Nick had a few bad times against me in goal back in the day.
We've got the reason why Big Shawn Bez is because you're on social media, Twitch. You're on Twitch, obviously you game or you broadcast. You're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, Twitter, Grindr, Bumble, MySpace. I don't know. It's just, I don't even know what social media is anymore. There's so many things going up. But I know for sure that you're on YouTube, and we're going to talk about YouTube. So let's talk about YouTube. So where did that come from then? Setting up a YouTube page. Where does Big Shawn fit into YouTube?
Well, I kind of semi-started my page years and years ago when I was on sort of a wrestling podcast, and it was one of those things. It was like, right, I'll upload this, you know, just so I've got it kind of as a memory to kind of go back to. And then so I went to a music festival a few years later, did the same. And then it got to a point where I was like, right, I quite enjoy having a camera and doing, you know, a bit of the sound, bit of the camera stuff. Why don't I just continue with this? So when I kind of traveled a little bit, I was like, okay, I'm going to go off to a theme park. I'm going to film it for the day, because I literally spent probably about a year just watching theme park vlogs just to keep me entertained, because I was like, I'm really, one thing I quite like is to know how everything works. I'm quite intricate that way. It's like, right, you tell me about something new, I'll go and research it and I'll figure out how everything works, how every little piece works. So when you start thinking about sort of cameras and things like that, I'm sat Googling cameras, like, how does this work? How does that work? Hence why I ask 1,001 questions. But when it got to theme parks, I was like, there's a lot to talk about here. And it's that kind of, right, how does this coaster work? How fast does that go? All that stuff. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to sit and research this for myself, why not share that with people? So that's when I sort of started doing that. And then I was like, right, well, it's not just about traveling and that. It's like, how can I have fun and entertain people at the same time? Because I feel like my personality, I'm a bit like Marmite. You either love me or you hate me. It's one of those things. So, you know, I like to kind of put myself out there a little bit and just have fun with my life. And, you know, I'm 28 years old. I've got absolutely nothing to lose. You know, I'm going to university. I'm learning this craft that I'm hoping is going to be the career for the rest of my life. Why not put those two together, learn my craft, but at the same time practice my craft and just have fun with it. And that's kind of where I got with it.
Yeah. I've had a look at your YouTube videos. I mean, you've got some really good stuff on there. Like you say, you've got a mixture of things going on. Like you say, your YouTube dates on now for about 4 years, where you've put the theme park stuff and little bits and bobs that you've put on there. But as you said, with lockdown, you've taken time to reflect, obviously focus on what you want to be broadcasting and advertising yourself as. So Big Shawn BEZ, the brand, what are you going to be focusing more on your YouTube then? What can people expect to see in the rest of 2021 and so
on? Mainly back to sort of traveling and things. Like, I think with the way kind of the world's been, traveling's been a bit of a no. But hopefully in future, I just want to travel as much as I can, see the world, do what I can. You know, more theme parks, more kind of things like that. So just enjoy the world and take you along with me, and that's mostly it. Yes, there'll be some funny little skits that I do now and then, like, you know, kind of imitating maybe a couple of the channels like Tipsy Bartender, making big punch cocktails and having a laugh and just a bit of comedy. That's kind of the entertainment side of it. You know, stick with the wrestling stuff because it's a passion, sort of opening the wrestle crates and things. That's fun for me because it's a surprise to me at the same time as it will be for the viewer, because I'm not looking in these crates before I open them. It's a mystery box. I open it, I take all the stuff out, and I'm just laughing at what is in there sometimes. So I'm going to do as much of that as I can and just keep going. And hopefully, you know, we'll build a brand out of it and everyone will be happy and, you know, keep everyone smiling, because that's the best thing we can do right now.
I like it. That's what I like about you. It's the positivity. I don't know what the word would be there. It's your positive outgoing. That's just the same as like what we really like to strive here at Chaturday Live, which is as long as you're entertaining people, making people happy, you know, trying to increase the mood, making other people feel better about themselves, which I know that your page will do and your YouTube will do. I mean, you're giving back and you're doing something good and you're taking people along a, you know, hopefully a more enjoyable ride and taking them away from a reality for, you know, for a few minutes and just enjoying it. And that's exactly what we hear at Chaturday Live. You know, we get people like amazing people like Shawn on who just lift the vibe in the room just with their positivity, and we love it. We've got another one here as well. Do you want to explain this?
Oh, right. Okay, Matt. Yeah, thanks for throwing me under the bus, mate. Appreciate it.
Well, it looks like you threw him somewhere, not necessarily under a bus.
Safely. I put him down gently. It just didn't look as gentle. Basically, we're doing a task with Keith Partridge, who's done a lot of sort of really good documentary work for the BBC and stuff. He came into the university to kind of teach us as much as he could, and, you know, it was brilliant. We want him back, definitely. So we were kind of told to bring in a personal item and talk about that. Now, me being me, of course, my personal item was a signed wrestling mask from Rey Mysterio, and that thing is just, yeah, the day I got that signed was definitely a highlight, because I never ever thought I'd meet the guy for a start, and for him to sign something that was personal to me already was just great. So I brought that in and I wore it, that one, for this shoot, and Taylor, who's also in the chat, kind of filmed it and directed it a little bit, and we just had some fun with it. And we were like, right, well, if you've been a wrestler, why not just kind of have a little bit of fun with it? And we were like, right, well, who can we kind of have a bit of fun with? And we knew Matt was always down for a laugh, so I kind of picked Matt up and sort of put him down on the ground. And yeah, it was a good little kind of skit. That is on my YouTube channel, so if anyone wants to check that out, it is on there. And obviously, shout out to Taylor for filming and directing. Shout out
Taylor Harding in the comments.
Yeah,
wherever they may be when you're watching this, I do apologise.
and Matt for being a willing participant. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. You're an inspiration to us all. The world will thank you in many ways in the future, I'm sure, for being a stunt. So uni life. So what is uni then? So at uni, what is it you're studying? What's the course name? What is it you're trying to get behind?
It's film and television, the University of Cumbria in Carlisle, Brampton Road campus. So obviously I'm in there with Taylor, Matt, Dan, and quite a few others.
How many words is that? One word, film, television.
Yeah,
all right, go on. You're
yeah,
right, go on.
That brings back memories. I haven't done that in a few years. Yeah, so we're kind of just learning. It's our first year, so a lot of us, it's new to us. We're kind of learning the ins and outs of camera work, sound, lighting, everything else. And, you know, as I said, it kind of links with kind of my hobby as well with YouTube. So, yeah, it was quite interesting. As I said, I wasn't ever expecting to be where I am, to be fair. It was kind of, with obviously the way the world went last year, my job kind of started to dry up a bit and we were closed for quite a while. And I just made a phone call to the clearing section at the university and was like, is there any chance, you know, you'd maybe have a place for us? And they were kind of like, yeah, we'll see what we can do. And I was quite surprised because I thought this is just going to be a dead end. I'm never going to get anywhere. And they made me write an essay. It was a 1,500-word essay on the differences between production of wrestling. Funny enough, about wrestling, because the guy that I spoke to is also a wrestling fan, the tutor Ed. So, you know, fair play to him. So I wrote an essay between the differences in production. And when I sent it back to him, he was like, how the hell have you done this with no experience? I was like, just, you know, it was just good. It just flowed out and I got the place and I got in. And, you know, I've never been so proud of myself for something that I've kind of fluked by.
So we expect on Chaturday Live, I mean, the thing is, Chaturday Live is set up for entertainment during lockdown and obviously while people are suffering. Lockdown, hopefully, for the last time is being lifted and we're all going to be able to go socialise with friends and family and obviously going back to uni. You say you're going back to uni next week?
The 8th of March onwards.
8th of March, yeah. So you've got uni to look forward to. We're going to keep the show going anyway. So, I mean, we're going to have Shawn on. And hopefully, if you've got any cool sketches, we'll share them on the page. We'll make it a part or a feature that you've got on, like a monthly thing that we'll share some of Shawn's stuff. Why not? We'll keep people connected and get some all that out there as well. Like you say, we've covered the wrestling. But when we had the guys on from Target, obviously
I knew this was coming.
So are you happy for us to show it? You don't really have a choice. You don't really have a bloody choice, to be honest.
No, you're going to do it anyway. So.
It's my show. That's how it works. So BIGSHAWNBEZ, Target Wrestling have obviously been aware that lockdown is eventually going to be lifted, and there's a heavyweight championship belt up for grabs that is vacant, and they've put a free-for-all out on social media to say, if you want that belt, swing us a promo, send it over to Target Wrestling, we'll show it. If you get the backing, we'll get you in the ring and we'll get you the support. So, as we are friends of Mr. BIGSHAWNBEZ, we are going to help that. So we're going to show his promo video. I do apologise in advance.
It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah. We're going to show the promo video now. Fingers crossed it plays okay. I haven't tested it out yet, Shawn, so it may fail at the hard. I may have bigged it up for nothing. And once you've seen it, obviously, then head over to Target Wrestling, scroll down their comment on their posts as well, like Target Wrestling, scroll down, and then like and comment on Shawn's post, because that's what's going to get him to the top to be able to be in contention for that belt. So if you're a wrestling fan, please sit back and enjoy.
Target Wrestling. Would it be nice to one day see Big Shawn Bradley back in the ring? Well, your announcement of heavyweight tournament might be enough just to tempt me back. After all, I have beaten Medallion, as you can see in this next clip. But, you know, Target Wrestling, the place where I made my debut, my home, so to speak. It'd be lovely to be back. So if you want to see Big Shawn Bradley back, and you want to see him get some gold, how about it, Target? Come on, you know who to call. Me, Big Shawn Bradley.
I didn't edit that, so
no,
Big
I
Shawn Bradley!
I just realised I sent you the wrong clip. So we've had a problem there already, because the actual clip shows me eating Medallion. Yeah, and I'm not happy now.
That's fine. Do you know what? That's fun. But like you say, if you want to see Big Shawn Bradley back back in the ring, you head over to Target Wrestling, which you can find on Facebook. Scroll down their posts, find the video of Big Sean Bradley, Big Shawn BEZ, Shorty Boy here, which will have the proper video, which actually has the edited part.
The actual fun bit that should have been in there, yeah.
I feel like, chat going, we've got a live exclusive unedited version of Big Sean's video. So
technically you do, yeah.
We have the unedited version of you picking your nose, pressing record and not record and all sorts. So, I mean, fantastic.
Yeah,
we've had it. So make sure you head over to Tiger, because we want to see Big Shawn BEZ back in wrestling. I mean, you want it,
yeah.
we want it. It's wide up. But worst case scenario, if Big Sean doesn't make it back into Target Wrestling, Matthew may have to suffer. And we don't want poor Matthew to have to be the victim of any more stage violence in any woods in any way, shape or form. So this is an appeal, ladies and gentlemen. Save Matthew. It's for his own good. Thank you.
Poor Matthew.
Poor Matthew.
It's a good sport, though. I'm sure he's looking forward to it.
So, as I said, so you're on Twitter.
Yeah.
You've got your YouTube, which is obviously your main outgoing. You've got Instagram. You've got Facebook. Make sure if you're watching and you already do not follow Big Shawn BEZ, go to Big Shawn BEZ, because between 2021 and 2022, he's going to be uploading some new content of uni life, obviously some sketches, obviously some more bits and bobs. You're in the works as well about probably getting together an exclusive, shall we say, of a wrestling podcast as well lined up for the future as well. Is that right?
Yeah. Just working on some tech at the minute, getting this room that I'm kind of in at the minute remodeled and redecorated, and starting a wrestling podcast as soon as possible. So keep an eye for that.
Poor Matthew. It's for his own good.
Yeah, please don't beat me up. I won't if you don't know me.
What time are we on? We're doing fantastic. Is anybody else there in the comment section? Do you have anything that you'd like to wrap Sean out about? Is there any stories that you have that you would like to add into the comment section that we can talk to Sean about? Because I don't want to lose you, Sean. I think that you're a fantastic guy, and I'd like to officially offer you a position at Chaturday Live for work experience. And if your uni course goes really well and you'd like to help out, I would really like to ask for your services in the future to come and help me do some live recording when we eventually go out in Carlisle and Cumbria to meet some new famous people in and around the countryside. Well, are you up for that?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm absolutely down. Any experience is brilliant, and as I said, it's sort of the career path I want to get into. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. So we're gonna have next time we do some lives on the scenes. We'll see I think it's like the equivalent of like Sully from Monsters Inc. holding the camera. It'll be Sean here.
I'll take it.
You'll take that.
Yeah.
That's better than being high vis, man. I'm sure.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd probably say you're more like Sully and I'm like Mike Wazowski, but yeah. He's kind of...
Yeah, that's the way around, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. That's right. Right, so let's do it. Let's do it, right.
Oh, we got some
questions. Ask Sean about his love for the song Blinding Lights.
Taylor, really? You have to bring this up right now? Oh.
Because if you don't tell me the honest answer, I'm going to call Taylor up now because I've got his number. We've pre-planned this all the way through the show. I'll have him live on the show. Okay, so explain the reason behind the song Blinding Lights.
Yeah, so you would benefit from having Taylor on the show at some point. I'm sure he's got some stories. But Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, it's one of those. Last year at WrestleMania, it was kind of the theme song for that. So me and a few friends were all on the video chat kind of watching it, and we were having a few drinks, and we're sort of like, anytime it plays, have a drink. And it just stuck. And because it played over and over and over again, we're drinking and drinking and drinking. It just carried on. So it ended up that we were very drunk by the end of WrestleMania, and it was a good laugh. But then we started doing sort of a university project back end of September. We had to go out and, it was October. And we started it, and it ran into sort of the middle of November. And I thought, right, because this won't be finished till the end of November, I'll turn it into a kind of a Christmassy thing. And Christmas lights, and as soon as it was like Christmas lights, blinding lights, that song kind of triggered. So I made a video, which again is on my channel, of all the Christmas lights and put it to the song Blinding Lights. And then because it played that many times when we were editing, and these guys are in the next room just hearing it on repeat over and over and over again. They're like, you love that song too much. And I'm like, I'm just trying to make the video work. And then recently when we've been on the video chats, just because I thought it'd be funny, I joined the video call and just start playing it. And then it's just wound these lot up, like I said, Taylor and Matt and Dan. And so I've just kind of stuck with it. And now they're advocating that when I do get back to wrestling, yeah, when I do get back to wrestling, we're making that my theme song.
I hope you're drinking.
I haven't got anything with us.
Where's all the drinkers?
We're off the drink this week, fortunately.
Really messy. Where's the drink? Right. So we've got the blind lights. I asked Shawn about his offer blind lights. Yeah, we've done that one. Give that man a job. I have given that man a job. He is officially on board at Chaturday Live. He will be my on-the-scenes cameraman. It'll be like the anchor man. We've just got to get 2 more people as well. Then we'll have our own little news crew, so it'll be fantastic. So yeah,
honestly,
but if you want,
I'm just going to throw you under the bus, but keep an eye on Taylor. He's got some good work out there.
Oh, okay, right. Right, Big Shawn, you're sacked. Taylor, you're on board. That was quick. Right, so that was a very, very quick job. Right, where we go? Where's this one? Question. Oh, you put the letter Q as well, so it's definitely a question. No, you're a big roller coaster guy. What park do you want to visit someday? There you go. What park are we going to go into?
If I could go anywhere in the world tomorrow, it probably would be California Adventure in California, LA. It's Disneyland's second park, just because I've been watching videos and kind of going around that, and that's the one that's kind of stuck out to me. Either that or Tokyo Disney Sea, because I'm quite a big Disney fan, as people probably know, and like obviously the California Adventure Park's got a lot more of the Disney Pixar stuff, so it's Toy Story, Incredibles, all that stuff, Cars, and I love Cars. Like Cars is probably my favorite Disney Pixar film. So yeah, it'd just be nice to go and see all that stuff.
Who at uni are you looking forward to beating up next?
Oh, okay, Connor. Is that you putting yourself on there? That's
hat in the ring. That's
yeah,
it. There you
definitely.
go, as they say.
I don't anyone up. It was staged. It was a stunt. Don't come at me.
Any police officers watching the show? Nobody was harmed apart from Matthew. We're going to put an appeal out there. Please, don't hurt Matthew. I feel sorry for Matthew now. I feel like I need to put him under my wing. I feel like he's been beaten up already socially and obviously physically by you. So make sure you head over to Big Shawn Bez's Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube to see all of the theme park stuff coming up in 21-22. All of the podcasts as well that are hopefully looking like to come out for obviously wrestling. You've got the uni stuff. I'm sure you'll be doing like bios and blogs as well of uni life. You know how you're getting through that. So please do make sure you check it out. We're going to cut the show short tonight, not for any particular reason, just because I have got other priorities. So I do apologise. But we're going to have Shawn back because Shawn, if Taylor obviously fails at the job, we'll bring Shawn back on, because now you threw yourself under the bus. So Taylor, you're officially hired. Please get in contact with the show. And then if you fail, we'll get Shawn back on. It's as simple as that. I'm only messing, Shawn. We'll be in contact shortly after the show and we'll arrange bits and bobs. So thank you very much. Remember to like his pages. And while you're there, I have had it up through the show as well. I mean, I am a one-man band. I don't get paid for this. I wish I did for sponsorship. But, just to make sure Chaturday Live continues to offer the experience to people, just like Shawn. I did it the right way. See, I thought about it first. That's it. People like Shawn and other people and celebrities on the show. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube page, Facebook pages, Instagram, and Twitter as well. The more followers we have, the more likely we are to have amazing guests say yes to coming on our show, like Shawn. So, Shawn,
yep.
You want to say goodbye? You want to say goodbye? You say goodbye. That's fine.
No, I just wanted to say thank you very much to everyone that's watched. I really appreciate it. You've all learned a little bit about my life and, everything in general about me. I'm not that bad. I try my best. Obviously, cheers, Jay, for having us on. Definitely support Chaturday Live. I've now got a job, so, I'm obliged to say it. Nah, they're brilliant, honestly. I've watched so many of their shows going back sort of the last 5 or 6 weeks, and they do some amazing work. So definitely support these guys. If you can, give them a like, subscribe, all that jazz. And just thanks, guys. And, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff.
You're going to stay. Do you know what? I'm not going to get rid of you. Normally, I get rid of you and then I talk about what's going to happen next week. But Shawn, you're going to stay there because you're part of the show now. So Shawn's part of the crew.
Co-captain.
Hang on 2 seconds. Hang on. Right, this is not normally what I do. I don't normally start typing and rambling. Shawn, start talking. We're here. You're part of the show.
Yeah, what do you want me to talk about? I mean, Alfie's just asked a question in the chat. Who would I pick as captain for Car United next season? I don't know half the players, so I couldn't quite comment, but they have bottled it today, so that's on them, just to talk about football. Production manager. Wow, okay, that's a promotion. Thank you very much.
Promotion, that's all right. But you have to pay me. That's how the show works.
Okay. We'll start in order then, I suppose.
Taylor, it's already come through because I have all my social media. Taylor's already subscribed to the YouTube page and on Facebook. So, I mean, there is a battle going on here. Right, coming up, obviously, with the production manager and myself, next week on the show, we do have the Carlisle firefighters on. That's right, the fire station in Carlisle. Stuart from Carlisle Fire Station East is going to be on the show talking to us live from the fire station, which means I get to see fire trucks. Yay! He's going to be on the show talking to us, obviously, about the safety, obviously, inside your house, externally, and especially with COVID breaking down and us all getting back out there on the roads and being more social with people about the safety. But mostly, we get to talk about being a fire person. I mean, what a cool job is that, being a fire person. So make sure you tune in again next week, 7 o'clock on Chaturday Live. And if you fancy a bit of a tearjerker, I won't give it away, but please go back and watch Monday's video. Shawn will say that he watched that live as well. And
Monday got me, it was brilliant.
We won't give it away.
Fantastic. Definitely check it out.
We won't give it away, but check out Monday's show. Here at Chaturday Live, we go above and beyond wherever best we can. Obviously, we don't have money in our back pockets, but what we do have is the ability to make somebody's day. So watch Monday's program. Remember to share this program as well. Shawn's program, I'm sure they appreciate it. I'd like to see that this has been shared about 400 times before 9 o'clock UK time. And if it hasn't, then Shawn gets sacked. So that's on you.
Please keep my job. Share it. Like, share, and subscribe.
Ladies and gentlemen, from me, Jay Robinson, host of Chaturday Live, and the brand new team member. I think he's just going to be a coffee guy. We'll work him up. That's probably too much of a big title at the moment. It's going to affect him big time.
I'll take Tradie Apprentice for now.
Tradie Apprentice. We're going to get him on there. And when it's okay to do so, and you can all go back and we can all start licking each other and meeting each other in public as well, I'm sure me and Show will be on the couch talking together with our guests, because the idea is to stay connected and keep everybody happy. And I hope you guys are happy and enjoyed this show tonight. I always enjoy doing the shows. My guests always enjoy the shows. Like you say, we don't sell anything. We don't plug anything. We don't want anything in return. We just want the freebie stuff, which is to like and a share so we can get more people on. Simple as that. Or actually, I'm going to say I've corrected that. As you probably noticed, I've been swigging away in my Chaturday Live mug as well, all the way through the show. If you purchase one of these, you can message the show directly to get your hold of a Chaturday Live mug. All the proceeds go to mental health awareness, and that's what the show is for. So support our mental health. That will go to the Mind charity. So if you want a mug, I can send it to you. Get in contact with the show. The more mugs you buy, then the more you get to see of this mug. I thought that was a good promo. Where was the laugh there, Shawn?
No, it was a good start.
Right, if you're going to be my stage stooge, you need to laugh when the jokes come out. You need to.
I think we need to do a promo class with you, Jay, next time. You've seen mine. We'll get you up to that level soon.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So once again, thanks very much. If you just do that really, really weird 70s game show thing where we all just keep waving.
The awkward wave.
Just keep waving. Keep waving. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Shawn.
Cheers, guys. See you later.